guys, it's your girl Kedna.
And it's your favorite sister here, Stephanie. This video is in memory of Miyah Macarno.
We wanted to kind of briefly talk about Miyah Macarno in memory and honor to her and her family. It's a very sad, frustrating investigation, the homicide of Miyah Macarno.
We don't really want to cover the case because we don't really know too much about it. They're not really putting that much detail out. And even if they were, in respect to their family, to her family, we just want to keep this to a minimal. But this video does tie into Miyah Macarno's death, and that's why we wanted to honor her and say that she is the reason to why we are making this video and why we are stressing why the content in this video is so important.
Definitely. I can definitely say that she inspired us to make this video. What a lovely angel currently that's watching over her family and over the world. So Miyah Macarno is a 19-year-old woman who was found deceased with her body tied up with tape. There's some allegations that her maintenance men have ties to her death, or could possibly have been the one who murdered her. It's not for certain. It's not, we don't really know what's going on, but they have announced him deceased as well as apparent suicide. So guys, this overall case is very heart-wrenching. I did not know her personally, but just looking at her photos, I can tell she was a ball of light. She radiates so much love and good energy, and it just hurts my heart. That story really hurts my heart, and it's so close to home. That's why it's so scary too.
That's true. It is.
We're not too far from Orlando, and everybody who do know her, they're very heartbroken. So let's send some love to her family and send some prayers on that side, okay guys?
Yes, please. We're still going to give you guys 60 seconds to pour some of whatever it is you want to drink with us. We're gonna pour up for Miyah Macarno, and we're going to start this video and talk about being safe as women in this society.
Yeah, we're definitely going to elaborate on ways you can make safer approaches when you are alone, or even when you're in groups with different individuals, being very cautious, and you know, the little things you can do to be safe. Obviously not saying that she could have stopped what happened to her, but we just want to bring prevention with other women, especially young women who are on their own, to be safe, because the world is crazy. It's a very dangerous place, and it's very scary and very nasty.
That's true.
So I would like to start off by, I guess, using myself as an example. I was just telling my sister earlier, and she didn't even know that I literally have a weapon in every corner of my home, guys, and that's not a joke. It's seriously not a joke. And not because I'm paranoid, not because, you know, there's someone out to get me. It's more so I can be safe at all times. When I leave my house, I leave with a weapon. I usually leave the home with my gun, if not always. And once again, it's not because I'm paranoid, it's just because I know how important it is for me as a woman to be safe and to be able to protect myself. Now, don't get me wrong, having a gun isn't the only approach you can take to be safe. You can be more aware of your surroundings. If you're not prepared in that sense, you can make sure the people around you trust them enough. They don't have any ill intentions for you, and you're surrounded by people that make wise choices. You also want to make sure that, you know, if you don't want to own a gun and carry a gun, there's different forms of weapons that you can use. And if you're not willing to go that far, please take self-defense classes.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
Please take self-defense classes.
I think the best thing any woman can do is to take self-defense classes. Excuse me. Because guess what, when somebody's attacking you, they're gonna be so caught off guard by what you're doing, you're gonna be able to escape and get away and get help, call the police, whatever it is that you need to do. So it is very important that you take self-defense classes. And like you said, sis, owning a gun is not the only way to protect yourself. I don't personally own a gun yet. I do plan on purchasing one, but I have been taking self-defense classes. I do carry pepper spray. I carry a taser with me as well. And I also carry a knife on me too, because you really just never know. And to be honest, as women, we have to remember that we are not stronger than men. It is very important. Or even if you don't want to take classes or don't have the funds to pay for classes, there are YouTube videos that teach this stuff for free. So you can just literally just YouTube it and just practice that way. There's so many ways so many different ways you can protect yourself, so many different things you can do and look up so that you can protect yourself as a woman. You cannot use, you don't liking guns for you to not protect yourself. You don't liking weapons for you to not protect yourself, because at the end of the day, when somebody's attacking you, it is your life or theirs.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. And this is not, of course, just a video for women. Of course, men too, you guys should definitely look into protecting yourselves, you know, taking self-defense classes, buying weapons, because not only are you protecting yourself, but if you have a family, you're the provider and the protector for your family.
Yes.
I think in these times, these are some crazy times. We don't know what's happening. Like COVID happened and who knows what's next.
That's true.
Like I said, you don't have to own a firearm, but I truly believe in these times that we're living in now, I highly recommend for people to have firearms in their home. I do not believe that everybody should own a firearm, because a firearm is a very dangerous weapon and it comes with a lot of responsibilities.
It should only be used for self-defense.
And a lot of people aren't responsible, unfortunately. But for you responsible individuals out there, get a firearm, especially for people like us who, you know, are really sweet and we wouldn't necessarily hurt a fly, because I know me growing up, I told myself I would never get a gun. I was so fearful of guns. And even to my adulthood, I was fearful of guns. My boyfriend had to get me out of that. Like, hey, like, you're fearful of guns, but what if someone is using one against you? Then what? Life isn't fair, but try to play it as fair as you can. If someone has a gun aimed at me, at least I have one that I can aim at them, and I can make that decision for myself. So it's all about being prepared. In life, we have to stay ready, because anything can happen, guys. Anything. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. This video is specifically towards our ladies today, just because we are paying reference to Miya today. Like, stories like that break my heart.
Yeah, so sad. And this video is especially for the women who live alone, who are always on their own, and for the younger women too. Like, just, you have to be safe out
the
here.
College women too, they're
who's
big
away
targets.
from family.
Yeah,
you know, the younger women and the women that live alone. And one thing that I do want to touch on is to be mindful of your schedule. If you are sticking to a religious, if you are sticking to a schedule religiously, try to switch it up some, because you never know who's studying your schedule, and who knows when you're gonna be home, what you do when you get home, when you come in, when you go out, when you go to work,
exactly,
and all of these things. So please be mindful of that. Like, to be honest, I love making a schedule for myself, because I feel a lot more like busier. I feel more like
organized.
I do more.
Organized.
When I have a schedule for myself and I can stay on track on my schedule. But me and Kedna was having a conversation about it the other day, that you have to be careful of schedules, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's like trying to figure out your schedule, and you just don't know what people's true intentions are. Some people's intentions may be good, but some people's intentions may be bad. And because you don't know that, you have to, number one, stay protected, but number two, be mindful of your schedule. What are you doing? Don't stick to a schedule like so strictly. Like, be a little fluid. If you like to go running Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 6 p.m., try to switch it up. Sometimes go at 4, sometimes go at 7, sometimes go at 2, sometimes go in the morning, because you never know who's watching you. Sometimes go on Tuesday, because you never know who's watching. And it is a scary thing, because I've actually been through a situation like that recently. So you just have to be mindful, and just me being aware of everything. I'm very mindful of my surroundings. So just me being aware, I picked up on it, and I was like, okay. And I realized that I started a routine, so now I have to switch it up and switch up my routine. So just be very careful on that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us get so comfortable in routines, and don't get me wrong, like, of course we have gotten comfortable with routines. All of these gurus, all of these successful gurus, what they talk about is routine, schedule. But they fail to realize, the psychopath across the street is watching your schedule.
Yep, that's true.
To attack you. They're watching for that perfect moment to feed off of you and prey on you. What made me have that conversation with my sister one day is that I go to the gym at a specific time, or at least I used to go to the gym at a specific time every day religiously. Then I had someone come up to me, and I'm pretty sure her intentions weren't bad, but she said, hey, like, I see you around this time every day, and for weeks now I've been wanting to come up to you. And we had a great conversation. She was a lovely woman, but that just sparked a light in my head, like, oh wait, if this woman right here is telling me she sees me every day at this specific time, and she was plotting just to have a conversation with me, imagine someone who was ill-willed, was watching me go to the gym or anywhere else every time at this time, plotting to do what they would like to do.
That's true.
So it's so easy for us to get into schedule, but that also makes it easier for us to become targets.
That is very true. It does make it easier for us to become
a target.
Target, because now they have the whole schedule down packed, and as you were saying, you don't know if the psychopath across the street is watching your every move and writing it down and just figuring out your life just to know when is the correct moment to attack you, just to know who to blame for your attack, because now they know the people that you hang around as well. If it's always a routine, so you just have to be very number one, like I said, be mindful of your surrounding, know exactly what is going on, if you like, and trust your gut. That's the number one thing, honestly. I would have to say that's what it is. Trusting your gut falls in front of everything else that I said, honestly, because your gut is literally never wrong. If you feel like something is wrong, then it is wrong. Get out of that situation, get out of that place. Do not continue to stay in an area where you feel like I need to go. If your gut's telling you to go and it's telling you to go now, go now.
Exactly. And I also want to touch bases on basic things that we've been taught when we were younger, but it's just, I feel like a lot of the times that now we become adult, we instantly feel like the bad guy cannot get us anymore, in a sense. Like, we're adults, like, we have things under control because
we're adults.
But that's not always the case. So it's just some key pointers I would like to point out. And one big one is using your people. And if you do not have a people, get a people. And a people is so old school. Get a ring, guys. Get a ring camera. It records everything, and you can see who's in your front porch. Of course, I'm not saying a ring camera or a people is going to stop someone from doing something specific, but at least hey, I'm going to open this door for a stranger. I'm not sure why this stranger's at my door. Let me put a gun, a mace, or a knife in my back pocket. I don't know who this is knocking on my door.
I don't know what they want.
I'm going to open it out of courtesy to see what they want. Have something near you. Personally, my home, in front of my front door, there's like a closet. I have an axe right there, so if I need to grab it, if someone tries to do anything silly and I need to grab it, I will. Literally, because they don't know already. Okay, like, you just have to, and I'm not trying to put you guys on edge or make you feel fearful. We're just trying to make sure that you guys know being aware is a life or death thing. Being prepared is a life or death thing. I love you guys, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to you guys. So we're going to have to do what we need to do to protect ourselves against people like that.
That's true.
Good people like us have to protect ourselves from evil people, and there's evil in this world.
Unfortunately, that's what it is. There is evil in this world, and if you don't protect yourself against the evil of this world, then the evil will gobble you up as if you were nothing. And you don't want to lose your life because you weren't prepared.
we're in the midst between a constant battle of good and bad, good and evil to say.
Yeah.
And we have to protect ourselves at all times, especially people like us who have good hearts and wouldn't harm or hurt a fly. You know, we have to keep ourselves protected, because at the end of the day, our life is precious. And I'm not going to let somebody, you know, take my life just because they want to take my joy and take my radiance and take who I am away from me.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are like that. There's a lot of evil people that just want to see pain.
Yeah.
Not only pain and suffering from their victims, but, you know, the people who are surrounded by the victims as well. They eat that up.
That's true. That's true. And I also want to add that we're not only talking about being careful, being mindful of your surrounding, just outside people, because you also have to be mindful of your surrounding people that are also in your circle, because let's be real, friends kill friends, spouses kill spouses, family kill family. Just be mindful and just pay attention to who is in your circle, the closest people you have to you, because you never know if you have an enemy in your circle.
Yeah.
And the only way to know that is if you're watching, if you're being mindful, if you're being aware of how everybody is, how people move around you, in your circle, how is that person happy for you, or, you know, and I mean, people can fake happiness, people can fake a lot of things, but if you've been around them for long enough, you can catch one thing that they did, and you're like, that didn't really sit well with me. But that goes back to me saying, trust your gut. If you feel like this person does not have good intentions for you, then cut it off. It's better to cut it off than to lose your life.
Yeah, and people can pretend for so long. A lot of people that actually do end up getting murdered, they actually get murdered by people who are the closest to them. So, you know, that tells you a lot about life in general, that the closest people to you are the ones who can harm you the most. So that brings me back to say that, ladies, please be careful, because a lot of you guys are in toxic relationships, or have been, or have toxic exes and obsessive boyfriends. Like, that's not safe, guys. As funny as it is to you, as, you know, as much as a joke you have doing that, reading the text messages and showing your friend, that person can really try to take your life. So please, ladies, if you have obsessive, toxic exes
or people
around you, get a restraining order.
Yeah, definitely. Do not feed into toxicity. Do not feed into it. And you should also recognize your vampires. Recognize the people that are feeding off of your energy, because those are not people that belongs in your life either.
And ladies, those are just many ways we can make sure that we're keeping our surroundings pure and being as safe as we can. I mean, we can only do so much, of course. We're going to leave everything in the hands of the Almighty, the Creator, but just do the little initiative that you can to be safe and protect yourself at all times. You come first. You protect not only yourself physically, your energy, your mental, your emotional, your emotions at all times. You come first. You need to be protected at all times.
Yeah, so we talk about protecting yourself, but it's not only about physically. And I love that you said that, mentally, emotionally, because yes, you do have to protect yourself mentally and emotionally. Physically is a big part of it, but if you're mentally drained and emotionally drained, then you cannot get what you truly want to get out of life when you are not emotionally and mentally fulfilled.
Yeah. And I love how you mentioned the energy vampires. There's literally people who are preying on you or preying on others. It's basically sucking them dry, sucking them until they become weak, just so they can wait until that perfect timing to strike.
That's true.
And that doesn't have to just be through murder or like something physically. That's in all aspects of your being. So just take it into consideration, guys. Just be careful. Be careful.
Don't fall into manipulation. Don't fall into narcissism. Just be mindful and be aware of, you know, certain signs. Do your research. on number one, how can you be physically safe, and number two, how can you be emotionally safe, and number three, how to be mentally safe, because you need all three in order to have a good life and live a good life. You don't have to be paranoid, that's not what we're saying to do, but just be mindful of your surroundings, be aware of what is going on so that you can live that pure, happy life. You don't want to be surrounded by negative people. You want to surround yourself with positivity so that your aura, your energy can be filled with positive.
Yeah, take this into aspect of it with anybody in your life.
Yes.
If a random, woman knocks on your door, same thing. So it's not just about gender. This isn't necessarily being gender specifics. It's more just us giving examples. So we don't want you guys to get too carried away with the gender. But we just want to say, guys, please play it safe as you can, and take precautions.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, yeah, we cannot stop fate, but we can definitely prepare for it.
I like that.
Thanks, sis.
With that being said, that's all you gems get for today in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us. And again, this video was made in honor to Miyah Macarno
And her family.
And her family. We love you, baby girl. And I know you are in heaven looking down on us right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you guys
what
for
an
tuning
angel.
in.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.